Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, so today we are discussing as the probably last class on this Kundalini Yoga. So last two classes had discussed about different exercises, spiritual exercises by doing which one can awaken the Kundalini. One can reach the Kundalini Shakti from Muladhara to Sahasrara. Now, Bandha and Mudras, which I had mentioned, they are also part of this Kundalini awakening, but definitely they had to be practiced. Sorry, they are to be practiced under the guidance of the competent guru. Hence, I will not be discussing about it. I'll be discussing about pranayama and maybe one or two techniques we shall try to practice. Now, pranayama, it is a Sanskrit word. We all know that. What is pranayama? Oh, it is breath control, or it is something exercises with pertaining to breath control. That is what an idea, prevailing idea, is there in front in the midst of the people. Well, it is right, no doubt, but it is only a one idea or one concept about pranayama is a life breath. Pranayama has got much more wider meaning, significant and very deeper meaning. Very few of us we know about it. So it is not just a breath control. Then what is pranayama? So this pranayama, the Sanskrit word, is a conjunction of the two words. One is prana, the other is ayama. So prana means life force, and it has got life force, vital force, and the power by which the whole cosmos has been created, and the Kundalini Shakti. All this contains pranayama or includes pranayama. Prana. Ayama is it is a side. It is a one side of the force, and ayama also means control. So you are trying to control the life force. You are trying to control the vital force. You are trying to control the breath force. You are trying to control the Kundalini Shakti or Kundalini force. Controlling and regulating. Controlling also includes regulating. So this pranayama is the science or technique which deals with the origin of this mysterious and invisible power and its nature and its control actually. So what does it mean? So according to the science, spiritual science or the yoga, Patanjali yoga and many other scriptural texts which we get from India, they say the whole matter, whatever you say, all this matter has been evolved from the space, which is called Akasha. Akasha means here it is not the blue sky. Akasha means it is a space. Okay. How this space has been evolved, how this space has been created, because space is the substratum in which everything occupies, everything sustains. This space itself has been created, emerged out from the energy. Interestingly, you see, the space which we can feel probably, which we cannot see easily, it is so this space has been formed or it has been created by the energy. Those subtle form of energy or whatever the energy, whatever we are saying now, this energy, it is in the cosmic form. And with the same energy, which is a microcosmic form, which is in individuals, all of us, that is called Kundalini Shakti. And this energy, according to the law of creation from the Sankhya Yoga and few other texts, when this prana, the vital force or the energy, when it creates vibrations, and that is called sound, and that vibrations create the space. and it is nothing but electromagnetic spectrum or the frequency and wavelength we speak. For example, even like among the people, some of us, by knowing just once or twice, we saw and we become such a close friends. And from its inception, we saw him or her. Somehow we don't go well together. We maintain distance or we maintain pen friendship or whatever. We don't, somehow we are not happy about each other. We have not quarreled. We have not had exchange. We didn't had any exchange of hard words, but still it doesn't. Why? Because that prana shakti or the frequency doesn't match. Anyhow, now the whole motion, whatever you are seeing in this world, different type of motions we see, different type of movements we see, all are nothing but either in the organic world or inorganic world, all are nothing but the cause is what? This prana, the force, energy. So this prana, whatever we are using, mentioning today, it is the ultimate generalization of all different types of forces which are existing in this nature or in the universe. It is the ultimate generalization of all the forces and all the powers. So that means it is the sum total of all manifested force of nature, either gross or subtle. So all powers, all energies, all forces, the sum total of all these things is nothing but this prana. So now you can understand this one word prana, how much it has got its own scope. So prana means it is not the just breath force or the life force. So all motions are nothing but the manifestation of this prana shakti. And even the energy, we have got energy in the body, isn't it? When we have to climb, we have to work, we have got energy. If you have got energy only, you can do, otherwise it is not. And that energy is nothing but prana shakti. And even desires, we have got desires. We have got thoughts. We have got thoughts and desires. These are also nothing but the function of the prana shakti. Then sensory actions and etc. Now, how the meditation can help in controlling Shakti or awakening Kundalini Shakti, here comes a picture. Now, the supreme prana, unmanifested prana, when it gets manifest, it gets manifested at the microcosmic level at two levels or two things. What is that? When this supreme prana or unmanifested prana, when it gets manifested, it manifests as one is manas, the other is the breath or the force. So by controlling the mind, you are controlling the force, you are controlling the thoughts, you are controlling the desires, and you are checking the wastage of the energy. That's how through mind we can get energy, we get energized, we get calm, we get peace. Why? Because through meditation, what we are trying to do, we are controlling our thoughts, we are controlling our mind, we are controlling our prana shakti. So you control, and afterwards you are trying to accumulate it, you are trying to store in yourself. Then what happens? That's where you feel calmness, that's where you feel peace, that's where you feel energized. For example, we are go on spending the money for some reasons. Now, I decided and I had a check on my spending and I started accumulating money in my bank account. Now, few hundred euros has been accumulated in my bank account. I may feel happy. So similarly, through our thinking, unnecessary thinking, working, and whatnot. So our energy is getting oozed out. Now, through meditation, all this energy will be concentrated and the wastage is reduced. So that's where we feel energized. So another name of Prana Shakti is what? Kundalini Shakti. Now, a question can come for all of us. This Prana Shakti can be experienced by can be seen by our naked eyes or experienced by sense organs. So generally, it is not possible. Even from the advanced instruments, you cannot see the prana. Only one can feel, one can experience. Now, by controlling the mind, by regulating the mind, we are regulating our prana shakti. And by controlling our prana shakti, by having a master of our mind and by having a master of prana shakti, we can also, as good as we can have a mastery over the world also. For example, if you have got a perfect mastery over your mind, you can control the rain. You can control the movement of the clouds. You can control the falling of a rock, even so. When we hear such type of stories in the science life, we feel probably it is a over exaggeration or it is a cock and bull story. It is not. Why it is possible? How it is possible? When you got a self mastery on your mind completely, so you get a tremendous energy. By that, even you can control the universe, because the whole universe, the matter and your mind made up of the same material, which is called force, prana shakti, are nothing but kundalini shakti. Now, I was telling this prana shakti, which is unmanifested, when it gets manifested, it manifests as mind and it also manifests as vital forces. So the mind can be compared to the rider, the person who sits on the horse and rides the horses, and the vital forces can be compared to the horse. So the vital forces are nothing but horse, and the mind is what? The rider. So by controlling the mind means that I will be indirectly controlling the vital forces also. Now, different planes of existence we speak, and we speak of different worlds, and nowadays we are also speaking of alien world. Oh, there are aliens are there. They may be different looking. They may be more what do you say, advanced people. They might have got advanced things, and etc etc. And we, some of us we accept, some of us we don't. And even in mythologies we speak that there are different worlds where they are more advanced. There is free from disease, free from hunger, free from misery, etc. And again there are pros and cons, and there is a for and against such type with on such type of ideas. Now, literally speaking and very objectively, they are nothing but different planes of existence. Now this earth, in this on this earth planet, in the solar system, in this earth we are living, so this earth is made up of a particular vibrations, particular level of frequency. Now the frequencies becomes different frequencies, then the different wavelengths, then the different levels of existence or different worlds happens. Whatever you say, Swarga or heaven or Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka or Atala, Vitala, Talatala, which is go below worlds, all these below worlds are nothing but different levels of existence, different levels of vibrations. So when you rise your whatever Kundalini Shakti or Prana Shakti, and when it gets ascended to the different level, then you'll be able to perceive or experience the different worlds. Now, generally, this Kundalini Shakti is dormant in all of us, which is in the Sushumna, at the base of the Sushumna Nadi, and the Muladhara it is called, and it is closed. And at the same time, in between there is a Sushumna, and there is a side, right and left side of the Sushumna Nadi, there are two nerve centers, which are called Ida and Pingala. So some of the energy is been generally, what do you say, there is a movement of the energy in these two nerve centers, which is called Ida and Pingala in all of us. And now, if my through the right nostril, the left side of the body or the Pingala has been controlled, and from the left nostril, the right side of the body or right side of the nerve center, that's Ida, is controlled. That's where we are trying to do while breathing. We are trying to do from both the nostrils. By that, what is happening? We are trying to balance the energy movement in the Ida and Pingala. The more and more we balance the movement of energy, then what happens? Then the breathing force or the breathing duration gets longevity. When it gets long, elongated, then what happens? Your mind gets calm, energy gets concentrated, and your lifespan gets increased. So, how our lifespan, our body, mind, this prana shakti, all are interlinked. It is very beautiful to study, or very interesting to study also. So, through efforts, one can awaken this Kundalini Shakti. We all know that. Now, pranayama is the science which teaches us how to gain control over the prana, over the life force, and over the Kundalini Shakti step by step. Now, this prana has according to the yogis, this prana has manifested at different levels and different way. The first and foremost, the prana has manifested as breath motions. For example, yesterday we had a hiking to the Patrick. So while going, while I was ascending the hill, because I'm going against the force, gravitational force, And slowly, slowly, I was feeling a bit tired. I was gasping, and my breathing was increased, and I was feeling tired and all. So there is a physical exertion that has set upon the body, and that has set upon our my breathing, and that has also set upon the my feeling or feeling weakness and my mind and etc. Now, how this body, mind, energy, everything is interconnected. Now, for an example, in the Tibetans especially, are the people who live in the terrains and the top mountains and all. Generally, their lungs are much bigger than us. So that is the reason they don't get easily tired and they can easily go up and down the mountains. And even the lack of oxygen, to a certain extent, they can very well manage. And if we start doing pranayama, for example, when before going 5 years before, when I was supposed to go to Kailas and Manasarovar, I for a 1 month very religiously I practiced pranayama. By that, what happened when I was climbing this Kailas Parvat and all, I didn't feel really what do you say tiredness and etc. And I was easily able to climb the mountains, which was much more heighter than these Kirkpatrick mountains and all. Why? Because the prana is manifested as first and foremost is a breath motions. Okay, that's a gross manifestation. And again, the prana is also manifested as naru currents actually. And the prana is also manifested as thoughts and desires. So prana is manifested in the subtle level is thoughts and desires. And in the still grosser, it is naru currents. And still grosser is what breath motions. Now, just if you keep your hand here, you will feel some heat. Why? Because we are breathing. And we all feel, we all know that breathing, isn't it? The prana is manifested as this breathing, actually. And this prana also is manifested as naru current. And prana also is manifested as thoughts. Now, in the meditation, what happens? In the meditation, you are trying to quieten your mind, or you are trying to concentrate your mind. By trying to concentrate your mind or by trying to quieten your mind, what happens? The number of thoughts which crosses in your mind in a say in a moment or in few or in a second or in a minute, it gets reduced. So the number of thoughts gets reduced. Then what happens? Because more thoughts, more usage of energy, more burning of energy. Then less thoughts means then energy has been, I get accumulation of energy. That's how in the meditation, even so-called in the name of meditation, we practice 10 or 20 or 30 minutes, we feel calmness, we feel energy, we feel nice. Why? Because one is you are trying to think positive thoughts and you are trying to quieten your mind, quieten your number of thoughts. Because of that, energy has been stored in your mind. That's the reason you will feel calm, quiet, energetic, and whatnot. Now you see the connection here. Prana, the breath motion, naru currents, and thought and desires. And very interestingly, prana is also manifest as naru currents. Now in this Kundalini Shakti, what you say, the Sushumna Nadi, the Sushumna Nadi is also the manifestation of this prana. And there, whatever the Shakti, Kundalini Shakti we say, that Shakti is also nothing but it is a Prana Shakti. Prana Shakti and Kundalini Shakti are synonyms. The Prana Shaktis are the cosmic form, and the same Prana Shakti is being stored in us in the microcosmic form in every individual living being. So by controlling the breath, what we are trying to do? By controlling the breath, we are trying to control our naru currents. We are trying to control our thoughts and desires. And not only that, with intention and with a goal, we purify the naru currents and we strike that Kundalini Shakti, and slowly the the base door, which is called Muladhara, gets opened. Slowly, slowly, if we continue this pranayama, then what happens? Slowly, this Kundalini Shakti will be awakened. Yeah. So one person has asked, does the equivalence of prana and kundalini imply that a disturbance in the mind, which leads to a disturbance in breath, means that the kundalini shakti is also disturbed? Okay. If your mind is disturbed, your breathing is disturbed, no doubt. If your breathing is disturbed, it also can lead to your disturbance in mind. Now, whether Kundalini Shakti is also disturbed, this is a good point to be thought over. Because in most of our cases, Kundalini is not awakened. The Kundalini Shakti is not awakened, it is in a dormant state, hence, it is not disturbed. Now, through pranayama and through other spiritual practices, say if the Kundalini Shakti is awakened, now it has gone to Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura, and it was supposed to come to the Anahata, say for example. At that given point of time, if your mind is disturbed or if your prana is disturbed, definitely that can affect one's Kundalini Shakti. Now at this right now, in most of our cases, Kundalini Shakti is not at all awakened. So disturbance in mind or disturbance in prana, it will not affect our Kundalini Shakti generally, as I know. Now, by controlling the breath motions, by controlling this prana shakti, what we can do, we can awaken any amount of what you say Shakti or Kundalini and etc. And interestingly, you see, people have made experiment. Yogis have made a lot of studies and all. They say, according to the one of the book based on this pranayama, he says a healthy person, generally a healthy person inhales and exhales 21,600 times per day. A person inhales and exhales who is a quite young and healthy person, he inhales and exhales 21,600 times per day, it seems. And when we exhale, when we inhale, so while we are inhaling the energy or we inhaling the air, in and around is around 16 finger breath, 16 finger, 4 4 4 4. So this distance they say, and when we exhale, it goes till 12 finger breath, they say. So much they have experimented. And also interestingly, I didn't bring all these details today. When a human being inhales and exhales, how much amount of oxygen, how much amount of carbon dioxide, how much amount of nitrogen, all these things are there. Even they have experimented, they have studied. And if animals inhale and exhale, what is the amount of oxygen, carbon dioxide, or nitrogen, what all other gases are there or can be there? Anyhow, and generally when we do some exercises and when our mind is in very violent, and when you do some violent exercises or walking, jumping very fast, running and all, it can go to the 96 finger breath and all, they say. Anyhow, now the more and more the breathing becomes normal, the more and more it is regulated, and the more and more it becomes long, the breathing, inhalation and exhalation, then your longevity of the life gets increased and your mind gets settled. Now, for an example, that's the reason when you do pranayama for a long time, what happens? Your energy gets regulated and your mind also gets regulated. Interestingly, there was a monk by name called Pavahari Baba, whom Swami Vivekananda met. Whoever has studied Swami Vivekananda's life, all of us, we know about this Pavahari Baba. Baba means, is a spiritual personality. Pavahari, Pava Ahari. Pava means a Pavanar. Pava means it is actually air. Ahari means food. A person who is living, and to live we need a food, isn't it? A person while living who has made the air, who has made this air as a food, such person is known as Pavahari Baba, Pavahari. So because he used to live in the cave or in the big hole, pothole, and for few days and for few weeks, he never used to take any food, and used to live and meditate or whatever. That's why the villagers started calling him is Pavahari. Now the question comes for all of us: how can one person can live for without eating for days together, for weeks together, for months together? It is possible when your mind is calm, when your breathing becomes very long, and there are different type of yogic practices. By doing one, you need not have much food. Even we speak, animals go to hibernate in the during winter season, which are living in the cold countries. They eat very less or they don't eat for a long time, but still they sustain. So that is all possible. So when you do this pranayama and the different yogic practices, what happens? Then the need of food, the need of water, the need of air for breathing, all these things can be minimized. Now you can see how the physical earth and subtle earth, how it is well connected. How our body, mind, prana, thoughts, all these things are so well connected, we can understand. And if you see in dog and animals, where they have got a very gasping or a fast breathing, they have got a less span. And the more and more the span of the our breathing gets elongated or increased, then such people or such organisms, such living beings will have a long life. But interestingly, or we have to know it, that vast majority people have irregular breathing. Most of us, we have got irregular breathing. The more and more by practice, by conscious efforts, if you can regulate your breathing, or if we can regulate our breathing, then what happens? Mind becomes calm. Mind gets regulated. Our prana shakti gets regulated. Then meditation or spiritual practices or awakening of this or any religious and spiritual practices, it becomes easy, and our willpower also get increased, and we can do anything and everything. And generally, there are few rules to practice pranayama. What is that? One is first and foremost is regarding the place. What type of place you should have? You should have a clean, neat, and hygienic place, no doubt. And apart from that, it should not be too top or whatever you say, uneven surface. It should not be too low or it should not be too upper area, they say. And it should not be crowded and it should not be too much noisy as much as possible. Quiet and calm place is much more specified and encouraged. If we are living in the midst of the cities, then can be some noises. Then what to do? Then if possible, you can go to quiet places. Otherwise, if you are living in the noisy place, then definitely by control one can do pranayama, they say. And the second thing is food and drink is told very important, that you should not take a heavy food generally. You should not too much oily, too much spicy, and etc. Simple food is always good, and eating too much is also not good for this pranayama practice. That's it. Second. And the third is as much as possible, either early morning, then the mid-afternoon, evening, and midnight. These are the 4 times which is very good for any spiritual practices, including pranayama. So these are called sandhi samayas, actually, conjunctions. Now morning, so night is getting ended and day is about to start. So that conjunction, that sandhi samaya, that Brahmi Murta we say, between 3 and 6 a.m., that is the best time for spiritual practice. Then even I made this experiment, it is actually very right. And between 11:30, half past 11 to half past 12 or 1, this is also beautiful time for any spiritual practice. Japa, meditation, pranayama, anything, this is also beautiful time. Then evening around half past 5 to 6 to 7, half past 7, this is also beautiful time for any spiritual practice. Then between 11 and half past 12, or half past 11 to half past 12, or 11 to half past 12, even that's also beautiful time for spiritual practices. If any these 4 times is good for even pranayama, japa, or meditation, or any spiritual practice. And if it is not possible because of your lifestyle and work style, any other time, take care that your stomach should not be full and your mind should be okay, and you should have a regular, what do you say, place for doing all these things. And also, interestingly, our fear, anxiety, stress, depression, emotions, feelings, excitements, all these things cause irregular breathing. And by practicing pranayama, all of them can be controlled. Now, say someone of us, we have got short temper. Now, by doing pranayama to larger for long time, we can get away from the short temper. Now, some of us, we may have got this problem is, anxiety. For anything, small things, we get anxiety, we get anxious. And there is no problem actually. We foresee or we think, we over imagine, oh, this can happen, that can happen, and all. We may get disturbed, we get anxious. And easily we get into depression, easily we get into negative thinking, easily we may get into stress. All these problems, psychosomatic problems we may have, all these things can be checked, can be regulated to the larger extent by this pranayama. Now, probably 2 or 3, or maybe 3 or 4, maybe, let us see, based on the time and availability, I will teach a simple pranayama techniques 3 and 4. This can be done for our health, mental health and physical health, and even for Kundalini awakening. So simple pranayama techniques today I will be teaching. So 3 or 4, you can, all of you can listen to my instructions properly and try to follow. Now, this is a first simple pranayama technique. This can be practiced at anywhere, any place. If you are, for an example, you are working in office, your mind is restless and your mind became too much difficult to control. Your mind is disturbed. You was under stress, or you are not able to think, you are not able to take some decisions. Even at that given point of time, anywhere, just you sit in some place, either on the chair or with a crossed leg, just this can be done. Just you have to, this is called a particular way. The forefinger and the middle finger has to be closed, and this thumb finger, ring finger, and little finger has to be closed. And your You're able to? Forefinger and the middle finger has to be closed, and ring finger and little finger has to be opened. Thumb has to be open, then ring finger and little finger. Yeah, yes, you are right. So your right nostril should be closed or should be open and closing should be used for your thumb, and your ring finger and little finger should be used to control your left nostril. Now, simple will be slowly and steadily, without making a noise. You should inhale from left nostril as much as possible, along as much as possible. You just inhale as much as possible from left nostril. Then, while close the right nostril, inhale from the left nostril, then close the left nostril and open the right nostril, and just exhale as much as possible long. Then again inhale from right nostril, exhale from left nostril, again inhale left nostril and exhale from right nostril. So when you do three times, this is a one cycle. It is called in pranayama. You should finish 4 cycles. If anyone say you should understand this. Start from left nostril, then right nostril exhale, then again right nostril inhale and exhale from left nostril. Again inhale from left nostril and exhale from right nostril. This is what one circle, one cycle. So let us try to practice few circles or few cycles now. So inhale from the left nostril, close your right nostril with the right thumb, with your thumb, and slowly and inhale from the left nostril. Then close your left nostrils with the ring finger and little finger. Then open your right nostril and slowly and steadily exhale. And again inhale from right nostril. And exhale from the left nostril. Inhale from left nostril. Exhale from right nostril. Let us repeat for 4 to 5 times. You should not keep your face or any body tight. You can sit in relaxed mode with a smilingly. You can practice this. Inhale from left nostril, slowly and steadily. Then exhale from right nostril. Now, while inhaling, feel that you're inhaling all the good thoughts, strength, good feelings, positivity. And while exhaling from the left nostrils, feel that you are exhaling the negativity, weakness, restlessness of the mind, bad thoughts, or if anything you don't want, like stress or anxiety or depression, anger, jealousy, anything which you are getting tormented, any bad quality if you have got, feel that that is getting away, you are losing it while exhaling. Inhale with the good qualities, whichever you like more, and exhale which you don't want most. So, this is the simple inhalation and exhalation technique. This can be done by anyone at any time. So by doing this, what happens? You will yourself, you can feel that one is slowly inhalation, exhalation, then afterwards inhaling with the good thoughts and exhaling all the unwanted things, and again inhaling for the good thoughts and exhaling the unwanted things. By doing that, what happens? Your mind gets calm. It is a part of spiritual practice also, and you are filling your mind with positivity, strength, compassion, mercy, love, and you are getting away from all your anxiety, depression, stress, weakness, whatnot. So your mind is filling with the positive thoughts and your body is also filling with the strength or whatever. And when you do this, what happens? Your Ida and Pingala slowly it gets balanced and you get energized, your mind gets concentrated, you get focused and whatnot. This is a simple pranayama technique. This is four cycles, generally minimum 3 to 4 cycles one has to practice daily, and possibly 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, possibly based on your time and availability. So, but there should be consistency. You start with at least 4 cycles morning and 4 cycles evening. Then after a few days, if possible, then you can increase some more time. So there should be consistency and regularity. That is very important in this pranayama as much as possible. Now, if you, for some reason, if you don't do one day or some reason, unavoidable reason, you didn't do, what happens? There will be no sin or any evil results. So don't get fearful about it. Now, whatever inhalation you say, that is called, in Sanskrit, it is called actually puraka. Puraka means inhalation. And now we do in inhalation we did, and we did also exhalation. Exhalation is called rechaka actually. So kumbhaka and rechaka. In the second technique, now which I'll be teaching you, there will be also retention I will be asking you to do. That is called kumbhaka. Puraka, inhalation, kumbhaka, retention, and rechaka is what the exhalation. Now, in the first simple exercise, all of you did is just inhalation and exhalation. Now, you have to do inhale and retain your breath and afterwards exhale. Now, what is the ratio you have to do it? The ratio is 1 is to 4 is to 2. Means inhalation, if you count 1 and inhale 1 time, counting 1, you inhale, and you have to do retention 4, counting 4, and exhalation, you have to do 2. Generally, it is practiced is 4 is to 16 is to 8, which is the minimum cycle every one of us we follow. So counting 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or this is the standard ways we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from the ring finger you start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 times counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhalation, then again 16 times. Then you have to retain your breath, closing both the nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then you have to exhale, counting 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is called Analoma Viloma Pranayama. This is also a simple pranayama technique. Analoma Viloma Pranayama. So 4 is to 16, 8. Inhalation 4, retention 6, and exhalation is what? 8. So same thing. You have to use the same thing. Your forefinger and middle finger is closed. You are using the right nostril with the right, with your thumb, and left nostril with the ring finger and the little finger. Again, 4 times inhale from the left nostril, close both the nostrils, count 16, and exhale from the right nostril 8. And inhale from the right nostril 4, retain for 16, exhale from the left nostril 8. Inhale from the left nostril 4, count 16, exhale from the 8 from the right nostrils. 3 times, 1 cycle. 4 cycle is to start with is advised. Afterwards, you can increase also. So let us try now. Start inhalation from the left nostril, counting 4. Then retain your breath, counting 16. Then counting 8, exhale. Then count 4 and exhale. Inhale from the right nostril. Retention is done with 16. Then exhale from the left nostril, counting 8. Inhale from the left nostril, counting 4, and retain for 16. Right nostril, counting 8, and repeat it for few more times. Yeah, so this is one more, Anulom Vilom Pranayama. And one more Anuloma Viloma Pranayama is there. So that I will be teaching you. Probably this is a third lesson. Now, the 4 is to 16 is to 8 is the same formula. Now, what you will be doing, the only the step is bit rearranged. What you are doing now? Inhalation 4, retention 16, and exhalation 8. You are doing now. Inhale 4 times, exhale 8 times, exhale complete, exhale and retain 18. So you did inhale and you were retaining the breath for 16, counting 16. Now you are inhaling 4 times and exhaling 8 times, and after exhalation of the breath you are trying to maintain the retention of the 16 seconds. This is a one more type of pranayama. You need bit strength this for this. So probably the same, starting with left nostrils to right, right to left, and left to right, the same thing. So inhale from the left nostrils 4 times, and exhale from the right nostril 8 times. After exhalation, close both the nostrils and count 16 while retaining our retention. So let us try to practice. Inhale from the left nostrils, counting 4, and exhale the breathing from the right nostril, counting 8. Then retention, practice 16 times. Inhale 4 from right nostril. Exhale from left nostril 8. Then count 16 by retention. Inhale from left nostril 4. Exhale from right nostril 8. Practice retention for 16. Let us practice this for a few more times. The same idea also can be done while inhaling. You can feel that inhaling the positivity and etc. While exhaling, first once you get the cycle right, then feeling with that mindfulness and consciousness, inhaling the positivity, exhaling the negativity, and all these things can be practiced. So one is first simple technique I taught you is today's simple inhalation and exhalation. The second technique, inhaling 4 times, retention or retaining 16 times, and exhaling is 8 times. Then the third technique which I taught you is inhaling 8, exhaling, inhaling 4, exhaling 8, and retaining is what? 16. And this slowly for few 2 or 3 weeks, if you persistently do and you get accustomed, and if you are confident, then slowly afterwards you can increase like 12, 48, 24. 1:4:2 ratio is what standard. Then afterwards you can do 16, 64, 38, and 24, 96, 48. These things can be done. So these are the simple pranayama techniques. So without much difficulty one can practice. That's the reason I've told. And still there are many other advanced pranayama techniques which generally the yogic practitioners they do it. Because of that, then slowly their awakening of Kundalini will be much more faster generally. But for all of this, food and purity, mental purity and disciplined life, they are all most essential for these things. So may the Lord bless us so that let us awaken that Kundalini Shakti, the primordial power, and let it reach the Sahasrara so that we shall attain the emancipation. We shall feel that completeness or blessedness. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. So one more person has asked a question that how does become aware that his Kundalini Shakti is rising through the chakras? So oneself himself will feel that when that Kundalini Shakti has been awakened, himself will feel there's a movement in the Sushumna Nadi, and he will start experiencing different things, some esoteric or mystical things he will be experiencing. So, and also there are a lot of descriptions when the Kundalini Shakti goes to Muladhara, from Muladhara to Manipura or Swadhisthana, what happens, when it goes to Anahata, what happens, when it goes to Vishuddha, what happens, and what are the plausible experiences one spiritual practitioner can experience. All these things has been told in this Tantra Shastras and in yogic practices books, and also probably I think in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, in the first Vibhuti Pada, many siddhis are the many, after the yogic practices, what all mental powers you can accumulate or you can get, it has been discussed in the Vibhuti Pada also. Some of them, probably by knowing this, you'll be able to understand.